Okay, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Cool 1968 back here with another Tuesday mountain bike video. We are back at Northshore. Like I said last week, we're here. We're gonna be starting off here on Loop 5, going this way. We're gonna have some fun. Let's drop in. Oh boy. What was that bird? So, in today's video, we're gonna be on loops 5, 6, and 7. This is the more technical side of Northshore. I mean, I've done this probably like only 4 or 5 times. I've done loops 1 through 4 more because it's easier and I can really work on stuff. This is great to work on tech when there's a little bit more of a challenge. So y'all can see here, a lot more rocks and stuff. Now, unlike when I first started, I actually started over at Twin Coves Park, which you guys will see when we get over there. That's at the end of loop 6, going into loop 7. So probably not the smartest thing to do. On top of that, today we're also doing a different camera angle. So we're doing the same camera angle that we did from the Oak Cliff video, where instead of being on the top, we're on the side. So you're actually, guys are right where my left cheek is, versus last time you guys were at the top of the helmet. Now, one thing I kind of want to get is one of those chest mounts so I can put it right on my chest so you guys can see handlebars and that stuff a little bit better than where we are now. Woo! There we go. Oh man. Oh God. Oh, my word. I was not prepared for that. Whoops, that almost went somewhere. And one thing I kind of noticed starting yesterday is that my dropper post here, if I like slightly touch it, it's still gonna come up. So I think either the lower mechanism's bad, which means at that point, I'll just replace the whole dropper post, which I kind of don't want to because it could be anywhere from a few hundred to a couple grand. I really do not want to have to replace my dropper post at this point. I mean, I've thought about it because that RockShox reverb axis seems pretty enticing. And that would be one step to going wireless. Then I'd only have 2 hydraulic cables and then 1 shifter cable. So a total of 3 cables, but still. I don't know if I'll switch over to the Axis drivetrain yet, mainly because like a GX Axis T-type drivetrain is like $1,500. And yeah, I would have to replace not only the cassette, it's basically the whole entire drivetrain. So the chain, the cassette, the rear derailleur, and I have to replace the chainring where my cranks are, or at least I have to replace the crank set actually, because it does come with new, it does come with the new cranks. Yeah, as you can see, oh, a lot of rocks here. Let me get down. There we go. Okay, as I've tried to say so many times, if I were to get like a GX Axis drivetrain, I'd get a whole new crank set, so that includes the cranks and then the front chainring. That would also mean I would get a brand new chain, I'd get a new cassette, and I would get a new rear derailleur. Which then also means I have to make sure that my batteries are always charged. And I'm not kidding about that. Because if they're not charged, you can't shift gears. And that is the downside of getting an Axis drivetrain, is if you don't charge them, can't really do anything. Why did I get 8 notifications? I don't think I sent a video out, but wow. All right, that's interesting. But hey, I have a friend that has an Axis drivetrain, and he also has the, well, not the reverb dropper post, but he has the RockShox flight attendant suspension. So that's the one where the front and rear suspension can electronically lock with RockShox's shocks. That's why it's called flight attendant, because that's a RockShox thing. I know Fox just came out with their own version. I forgot the name of it because it's been a couple days. And they haven't really sold it yet. They just announced it. But yeah, Fox made its own version, and they're probably gonna put it in shelves next couple of years. I don't know if you can like buy it separately right now or you have to wait, because at least in the mountain biking industry, we're in a huge downfall. Why? Well, how do I know that? One of the single largest used bike dealers, Pros Closet, It's closing its doors. Yeah, that Pros Closet, for those of y'all that know what I'm talking about. They're done. So Pros Closet is no more. They probably have pretty steep discounts. I have not seen what their discounts are, but it's probably gonna be really steep, and just so that they could close, just for them to close out. Which is sad because they had some pretty good bikes. And if I were to go used and I had the money, I would definitely buy from Pros Closet. Because on top of like, yeah, they make some pretty clean videos and good inspections, but they will actually send you photos and videos of like all the blemishes and stuff. I mean, like, yeah, there's a scratch here on like, let's say the down tube, let's say the whole back triangle where the chain goes is scratched. And they'll be like, yeah, it's like with all this, depending on the bike, could be a couple grand. I'm just like, wow, all right, that's actually not bad. Here we go, come on. Did they do Loop 5 for Judgment Day? They did, holy cow. All right then. There we go, made it up. Oh, my word. I went a little bit far off, but that's fine. Again, I have not done this in actually about a year. I've done Northshore many more times since, but I haven't done this section in over a year. This is gonna be an interesting ride. So this is where Loop 6 starts, at least the west side. And then from here is where we get to Twin Coves, and Twin Coves is where Loop 7 is. Holy cow, that's a large drop off. Yeah, and I can't do that either. I'm like, I know my limits. As I said before, I don't want to break a bone, because if I do, I am screwed. That means I won't have a job for months, which probably means I got to go attempt to find another job, which honestly, I kind of don't want to at the same time, because if I were to, let's say, go back to Andretti's, there goes my weekends, and I would only be able to go Thursdays. There's no real need to go back to another job right now. It's not like I'm paying for stuff too, like I was last year. I don't think I said this before, but last year when I transitioned to a different job, or wait, no, I started that going into 23. Oh, I switched degrees. Switched from mechanical engineering to business. What I did there is now that I'm in business, I mean, yeah, I still have classes on the weekdays, but when I worked at Andretti's, I mean, my weekends were, I'd be reffing from 8 till about 2 on Saturdays and Sundays. On Saturdays, normally I'd work from 5 to 1, and then Sundays is from 5 to midnight. So this is one downside of this trail. This is for like, at least 5, 6, and 7 are used for a lot of Dorba mountain bikers, or at least anyone that's like heavily into mountain biking, because this is more advanced. This is more like a blue-black-ish compared to 1 through 4. That's more of a blue. I'm not gonna say blue-green because it's not. It's a little bit more advanced than that. And what I mean by something like saying, oh yeah, it's a blue-green or blue-black, like a blue-green is still a blue, but it's not as, okay, come on. Oh, man, that rock. Okay, that's actually kind of cool that this house is like right next to an open part of this trail. There we go, made it through. Let's get through more of this tech too, as well. See, right now my problem is that I have to like really sit down for like 2 seconds before the seals can actually work, which I think it is the seals. I'm gonna probably have to order new seals for this dropper post. Oh, thought I had that, oh well. And I'll redo it, or at least I'll attempt to redo the seals. If not, if I don't feel like it, I mean, next time it's raining and I have like a whole week off like I did today, or like I did this week, I'll take it in and I'll get the shocks. Well, I'll see if I can get the dropper post service by itself. I don't know if they do dropper rebuilds at Bike Mart. I know at Trek they do rear shock rebuilds, but they have to send it out to get it done. I think there's like 7 places in the US that can rebuild your shock. It's just gonna take time. And for me, mountain biking, it's like, I don't want that. Oh, what the hell? Nope. There we go. Ugh. So come up here. Yeah. I don't remember exactly where on this trail this happened last time, but the last time I was here, I actually hit the rear part of my, what was I saying? There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to walk this section. There we go. So as I was saying, the last time I was here, I don't remember which part of 5, 6, and 7 I was on, but I was riding around. Oh God. See, this is why I don't really do, come on, get up, there we go. This is why I don't really do this loop. This is, yeah, this is a lot. Nope, be careful, careful. Okay, there we go. Got that. God, I think I just realized I never finished the argument on what blue greens and blue blacks are. So blue greens is a blue trail that's supposed to be much easier. So it's kind of like a green, but it's not as technical. Blues are kind of like in the middle, like the holy grail ground even for like most mountain bikers. Holy cow. Yeah, no, I'm walking up this. I know there's gonna be a lot of walking here. It's just there's so much tech here that I'm like, yeah. So blue greens, as I've said, probably not for the 3rd or 4th time in this video. Blue greens are blues that aren't as technical, so it's kind of rated in the middle of a green and a blue. Oh, boy, yeah. I would have probably scratched my bottom bracket there. No thanks. I come up a little bit after this, and then we'll get back on. So get back up on here. Ooh, come on, stay on. There we go. Yeah, and then there's stuff like this where I would consider this a blue black. So it's a little bit more technical than a normal blue, but maybe not as technical as a black. So that's why it's in the middle. And then of course, there are double blacks, which are like real technical. And then there's the red pro lines, which are like experts, even more so than like blacks, which is technically the quote unquote expert color, even for skiing. Okay, here we go. Push. There we go. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm gonna come over here to the left. Still gonna walk down this part here, but then I'm gonna get back on and ride down because those rocks, holy cow, even for me, yeah, no. Now, I have done some blacks, but the thing is like the blacks I've done are at Ray Roberts Lake State Park. And those blacks, I mean, yeah, okay, they are blacks, but there's a lot more flow versus here. And it'll probably be a couple of months before we get to go, before you guys on YouTube will get to see, hold on, any of the Ray Roberts Lake parks. As I've said, I think last week, I kind of have everything, I don't know if I'd say scheduled out, I just know what shows I want to do on what days, and we're gonna do those when we can. Ooh. Pressure right there. I don't remember how far is left for loop until we're at Twin Coves. We might actually be coming up soon. Again, I don't remember off the top of my head because it's been a good while. It must have been about a year since I've done this trail specifically. 5 and 6, not Northshore specifically, but loops 5 and 6 specifically. There we go. I just want to clear that rock because then we'll just walk up here. Most of the trails we'll go to, not going to be as much walking as there is now. And that's because this is a more advanced blue than most in DFW. And some of the ones that are probably a little bit more advanced than this, Cross Timbers up in Gordonville, but that's a black. Marion Sampson Park in Fort Worth and Big Cedar. Those are probably like the most advanced in DFW in terms of rider level, in terms of, well, riding needs. For blues, for some of them. Some of them are like pretty high up there. Like I know at Big Cedar, hold on. Big Cedar has pretty much everything. It's got greens, blues, blacks, double blacks, and a pro line. I think the double blacks, I don't know if they're still closed. I might be wrong on that. Do not quote on me, but we'll see when we get down there. Probably sometime next year is from when I last looked. But that stuff is also not gonna be 100% accurate. Why? Rain. One of the reasons why this is probably the second time I've mountain biked this week is because the only trails that were open were this trail, Horseshoe, and Knob Hills, which I went to Knob Hills yesterday, so that's why. And then the 2 Ray Roberts parks, Au du Bois and Johnson. Those 2 are like the only ones that are open, at least as of now. Yesterday, when I was riding, nowadays, I think now, Northwest Community Park is open in Frisco, but I don't think Arbor Hills is open. So we'll have to see if next Friday, which one is open. Because those are the next 2 I want to go to. And And I think we're gonna do those before the North Texas Mountain Bike Festival, because that's October 18th through the 20th. And I think this time I am gonna try and go to that one this year. I haven't gone the last two, which were, well, the first two, which was last year and in 2021. I do wanna try and go this year. Well, depending on how quickly I can pay my parents off. If I can pay them off, and hopefully by that weekend, we should be okay. Should be, because I mean, that is in like 2 weeks from now. So today is the 27th, which when I'm recording this, which is a Friday. By the way, it's my birthday. So if anyone wants to say, well, I'm not really gonna say that because this will be uploaded on October the 1st, which is the upcoming Tuesday. So you guys are seeing this like probably 4 days after my birthday. But the upside is we do have more content coming to the channel as well. As of making this video, I have recorded and have started editing the US 75 video, where we're going over specifically Central Expressway through Dallas and Collin counties. Oh, there we go. Let me come up here. Dang it, almost had it. Yeah, as y'all can probably tell, very, very technical. I like downhill tech. Uphill tech is a pain for me. Okay, let's get back on. Talking about something. This is the thing with honestly having like a low form of ADHD. I don't remember sometimes what I was talking about. Oh yeah, I was talking about 75. This Wednesday, October 2nd, we do have a video coming out going over US Highway 75, specifically Central Expressway through Dallas and Collin counties. That, in my opinion, is probably gonna be one of the coolest videos I've done. That thing has probably been in the works for about 3.5 years. I started making scripts like that back in actually almost like the halfway through the winter of 21 is when I started making that stuff because I was bored. And what happened is, at the time, I had one in-person class at like, I think it was like 10 in the morning. And then my next several classes were all online. So at the time I was taking Algebra 2, I was taking some sort of like UT Arlington student success class. And then I was also taking, well, yeah, that math lab. Oh, and I was taking like an intro to engineering course pretty much. Because since the intro to engineering course was at like 10 a.m., yeah, I did actually have to drive to UT Arlington from Plano. So it was pretty much a pain, but I sat there, I was there for most of the year, well, most of the day anyways, because even though my Algebra 2 lecture was online, the lab was not, and we met twice a week. So on days that I did have that class in person, I would have to sit there for, what's it, like 7-8 hours? Oh God. Yeah, no, let me walk this down. I think now we're heading back. We're still heading towards Twin Coves. We still probably have a little bit of a ways to go, but yeah, still got a good ways. But yeah, so that engineering class was from like about an hour, so from like 10 to about 11. And then I would basically just sit in the commons area for several hours. I did go and get Chick-fil-A every day just because I'm like, well, I had nothing better to do, scratching Chick-fil-A. And at one point I said, okay, I think I was just bored. I think I found out something about I-30 being a part of a turnpike. And then from there, I just started looking up like history of Central Expressway and a bunch of other highways. Hold on. Where was I? Oh yeah, I actually just rewrote the script for Interstate 35, which will be the next video coming out, hopefully on the 9th of October. I mean, it's not an I think, but that will be the next video to come out. So, but 35 is kind of an interesting highway because now I know like what highways it took over, which for some people are like, these weren't highways. I mean, at least most people my age don't realize what US highways were taken over by interstates. So for a good portion of Central Expressway and then the rest of 75 going down to Galveston. That is now replaced by 45. US Highway 77 for the most part has been replaced by I-35. And then US 81 through Texas up until the north side of Fort Worth was replaced with 35 West and some portions of 35, but mainly 35 West. And then, oh God, what's the other highway? US 80, even though it starts now in Dallas and it's still like an active highway, everything west of the I-30 US 80 interchange was replaced by 3 separate highways. I-30 going up to west of Fort Worth, I-20 goes from there all the way west through most of Texas, and then I-10 through the rest of Texas from the I-10, I-20 interchange through New Mexico, Arizona, and California. So it's a very interesting thing to see for that, to be honest. And I know there is another US highway that is being replaced with the future I-69, which yeah, that is a nice number, but yeah. So we've got highways that are still being replaced. I don't know what I-14 is supposed to replace, to be honest, because there's gonna be some portions there that are like gonna need brand new alignments. Because if I remember right, I think it's US Highway 190. I don't remember off the top of my head because, I mean, I'm smart, but I haven't really researched I-14. I'm sticking to the DFW side of our highway system. Yeah, so this is Twin Coves Park. So this technically is where Northshore ends, but a little bit farther up here is where Loop 7 is. With it being almost 12:15, yeah, we're still gonna go do that. Let's go. We just gotta go up a little bit more because it's not directly connected like loops 1 through 6. So loop 7 is a little bit farther up, closer to the entrance to Twin Coves. And this one, you do have to pay to get into Twin Cove. I haven't been on this in a while, but if I remember right, it is $5 to get in. I might be wrong, but I think it was $5. This is not the entrance. The entrance is a little bit farther up. And I remember they actually did have to put in this because I forgot why, but I think someone got in trouble for doing that. Man, I'm not getting on the cleanest lines here. Holy cow. There we go. Made it through. Ooh. That is some balance work right there. And that is the thing also about mountain biking. Mountain biking is more than just, oh yeah, I know how to ride a bike. Like, I've tried taking people mountain biking and they struggle. Because with mountain biking, you have to teach yourself how to be quick. You gotta scan ahead and be aware of like rocks and roots to find the best line to take you down the trail. So that's why mountain biking can be dangerous, because if you're not paying attention all the time, you could die. And people have died from mountain biking, on top of serious injuries, of course. But yeah, people have died from mountain biking. And according to ChatGPT, yeah, you can ask them this, mountain biking is the 10th most dangerous sport out there. Come on, I'm gonna hit a rock. Actually, I think it was on loop 7 where my rear tire hit a rock and then I ran with my shoulder into a tree. I don't remember the exact tree, but it was like right at the beginning of loop 7. So we've already passed it at this point. Yeah, my shoulder was sore for the next like week or two. There we go. Whew. I don't know how to fly. Hit in my nose. At first I thought it was gonna fly into my eyelid, which is what's been happening with a bunch of gnats recently. They're going right into my eyelids. I'm like, stop, get off. Oh, okay, yeah, I think I found the reason why my dropper post keeps dropping when I don't want to. So I like to keep my finger on the dropper post at all times, like as you can see here. But right now, this is how much play is in that cable. It's not really pulling much, I think, but yeah, there's a lot of play in the cable itself. And part of it is because I think I might need to raise the dropper post itself, like the whole thing. I might have to raise it, but that'll be for another time. Okay, a little lizard. I think now, no, not yet. We're not on the back foot yet. Still got a little bit more before we turn around and go back. And I'm not kidding when I say just a little bit, because I mean, there's maybe like a few more turns, maybe. We go a little bit farther up. Yeah, a little bit farther up. I can see it from here that we gotta keep going. So we ride concrete here. Oh, actually we go this way. Okay, that's my fault. I forgot that we would go this way. Oh man, this tech is just, wow, it's something. But yeah, so I think we come up here and then hopefully soon we start to make our way back. There we go, we keep going. Also, I'm a little bit sorry that I'm a little bit sluggish today with Thursday the 26th. Well, with me going out on Thursday the 26th. I was out till about 12:30 just because, why not? And yeah, did have a fair bit amount to drink. And I know some of my friends were like, are you gonna be okay? They were like, I think I had alcohol poisoning. After talking with my parents and really thinking about it, I just had food poisoning. Woo, let's go. Oh, here we go. There we go, there. So I think both my mom, dad, and I agree that I did get food poisoning. It must have been some bad sushi that I had that morning well, that day. Because I think we went to the grocery store either that Thursday or I waited I think I waited a week actually before I ate that sushi. Never do that. If you ever buy sushi, eat it like within a couple days. Otherwise, you'll get food poisoning and it'll taste, and it won't be good. Oh, really? Okay. There we go. I remember as I'm there, I was sitting there and I looked at my friend Seabass who helped me outside, a bunch of my friends who helped me outside, and they were like, and at least I told my friend Seabass, I said, dude, for some reason, why am I throwing up? I know I can have more, and I've done more. Now, I think part of the contribution was alcohol, because at that point I had like 12 drinks within like, what, 3 hours? Which I won't say I'm a lightweight. Well, actually, yeah, compared to some others, I am a lightweight. I'm usually pretty good with how much alcohol I have, usually, because that day was not a good day. And that is the only time that I have had somebody else take me home. Now, it's not gonna be like tonight, like when I record this video tonight, not tonight, Tuesday the 1st. So tonight, Friday the 27th. I'll probably still need to confirm this with my parents, but my friend does want to come to EC tonight, and he said he does want to. He says I'll come pick him up, and then we'll drive to EC from his house, and then he'll stay at my place, just so that I get home safe, and then his mom won't be annoyed at him. Honestly, I think my friend Isaiah, who's in the military, stationed out at Fort Hood. Thank you for your service, any military members that watch, because I honestly do have some. So my sister had a group of friends that I kind of got to know that are, I think most of them are stationed at Fort Hood as well, or at least a couple of them are, and some of them go to UNT. So gotten to know them. My best friend's brother is in the Marines. I have a friend from high school who's in the Army, and that friend that's in the Army is actually stationed in North Carolina. So he's not in Fort Hood. Holy cow. And then I have a friend who's a part of I think it's the Army Airmen. It's either the Marines or the Army that have the Airmen outside of the Air Force. But yeah, I've known him for years. He was a teammate of mine. He was a soccer teammate of mine that I met like a little over 10 years ago. And yeah, he's now in one of the airborne regiments. I think that's in the Marines. Either Marines or Army, I'm not too sure. But yeah. And my friend that's in the Marines, well, who's my best friend's brother, I don't remember if he's back in Okinawa or if he's stationed back in South Korea again. Holy cow, that drop off. Massive. A little bit hungover, so I do not want to risk anything today. I mean, if I bruise something, I bruise something. But if I break a bone or tear a muscle or tendon, then I'm screwed. I will be very screwed if I break or pull muscles or tendons or fracture a bone. Okay, here we go. Yeah, outside of that stuff, I mean, today's also like a pretty nice day. When I was driving up here from class, my car read 80 degrees, which is really, really nice here in DFW. 80 degrees is like your average fall weather. Woo! There we go. Got that. That seat almost rode up on my nutsack. Going back there. It lightly tapped it, but holy cow. Again, I like downhill tech because it teaches me balance on a bike without pedaling, but then these climbs actually teach me how to work on, what do you call it? Yeah, but then these climbs actually teach me how to find the cleanest line. I think this is the trailhead. Well, oh wait, no, it's right here. That's a little bit too far. This is the way over. Now we're on our way back. So we're about halfway done here. We're heading back south towards between coves and that shelter, but specifically towards the trailhead, well, the start of 6 East, going back to Northshore. Because at this trail, the southern portions of the trails flow to the east for bikers, to the west for hikers, but honestly some people do not follow that. It's kind of sad, to be honest, but gotta live with it. But then like on 7, the eastern half goes north, western half goes south. And why do they do that? They do that so that there's like a little system of how to get around the trail and which way you're supposed to go for some of this terrain. Because honestly, it would be cool to see it flipped, but then that would mean that my favorite part of the trail would be flipped over on, I think it was loop 4, west, and I'm just like, ow, that hurt a little bit. I don't think I gouged the pedal into my shin. Also why I wear the shoes I wear with mountain biking. Unlike the bike that I first started off with, which was a Trek 3500, that bike is also like 15 years old, I think. Because last time anyone had bought a bike outside of me last year was back in like 2008, 2009. And this is at a time when my dad also was biking too. So my sister and I both got bikes, and I got a bike. But that bike is a kid's bike, so I can't really use that here on these trails anymore. It's too small. So that's why I have this one, because this bike now properly fits me as someone that is 6'3". I mean, there we go. Ooh. Okay, now this is the part that I had saw from up there. Okay, nice to know. But yeah, so on that bike, I have plastic pedals, like something that you would find like on a Walmart bike, because at that time, my dad was the original rider for it. And when I took it over in 2020, it was too small for me. I would get lower back pains every time. So I had to go up the next size, which is an extra large, which for most bike brands, once you hit about 6'1", you have to have an extra large. If you're right on the line at like 5'11" and 6 foot, you can get away with a large. Might be a little bit big, well, might be a little bit small for you. Once you're about 6'1" and above, you need to get a extra large bike. And I need it too, because these bikes are not based off of weight. Ow. They're based off of height, because it doesn't matter if you're like several hundred pounds or not. I mean, it probably would. I mean, you're gonna blow the shocks out if you're close to like 400 or 500 pounds. Because I know for me, I'm not even on like the highest PSI, and I do ride a little bit stiffer fork wise and shock wise. Probably could bring it down, or at a bare minimum, probably before next week's video, I'm going to recycle all the air in the shock, in the rear shock and the fork as well, just to keep them like in optimal shape. Ooh. We go back up this way, and then this is where we go downhill. Oh yeah, downhill from like to there, where I said, ooh. Ooh. There we go. I think we're about to come up to the end of 7 soon. I might be wrong. I don't remember how far in Twin Coves is from the gate. Might be significantly farther in, might not, but we'll see. Yeah, this weekend's gonna be, hopefully it should be pretty fun. Now, I went out last night. I still had fun. I mean, yeah, I did not buy, well, I did not have someone pay for drinks like I think I was originally supposed to, but I don't blame him. If he doesn't get paid till tomorrow, until today, then I'm not gonna argue with that, because work is work and money is money. But tonight, the 27th, for my birthday, I have like no expectations going into tonight as to what's gonna come up for my birthday. Now, the amount of people that have already wished me happy birthday, holy cow. I mean, I think I had like, what was it? I haven't even lost count. Probably like 30 or so people already wished me happy birthday. And by the time I got home, there was already like 4 or 5 messages saying, yo, happy birthday. I was like, holy crap, guys. That was quick. Now, unlike most people, I don't think I have anybody post anything of me on their story. At least, well, I don't know, maybe I will say as of yet, but I haven't checked my phone since I started the trail, and I hadn't checked my stories since I was in school. So I don't know. And again, I don't know what to expect going to Electric Cowboy tonight. Could be nothing, could be a lot. We'll see. There we go. Right over that rock. Yeah, here, I'm gonna walk this up. And now I kinda need to be careful how much water I drink, because unlike loops 1 through 4, there are no water bottle fill stations in these loops, even at Twin Coves. There's nothing. I have to be real. Ooh. Okay, yeah, so we still got a good ways to go before we get to the end of 7, I think. Yeah, we do. I don't want to put my phone out yet. Actually, never mind. We're actually coming up to the end of 7, because that right there is the start. So this is the end of 7. Take a little bit of a break here. Just let us coast to 7. Oh, the 6. Sorry, not 7. Oh, so they got a grass volleyball court here. Because at Little Elm Park, which is where I normally go to with friends, they have beach volleyball. And these are on like both courts too. Whew. That's a bit of a drop off from there. Okay, now this is 6, and we are on our way back to the trail. Now, if I remember right, I think 5 and 6 make a little bit of a U going from Mad Shelter to Twin Coves. Well, looking at it from space, looking at it from like satellite imagery. I might be wrong. That's just from what I remember, but the rest of this trail is gonna be a lot of fun. Still some tech like that. Let me try and get around this bend here before I get back on. But hopefully should be smooth biking from here to the trailhead at Mad Shelter, which is actually right next to the Mineral Park Marina. That's kind of cool. I think I don't even know how many marinas are I don't know how many marinas are here on Grapevine Lake. I don't think Rockledge has one. So for the Northshore Trail System, there's one at Mineral Park. I know there's one at the Gaylord, and I think that might be it actually. I think Gaylord and Oak Point are the 3 places that have where they've got a marina. Or wait, does Oak Point have a marina? I don't know. We'll take a look when we do Horseshoe in a couple months. Because if you guys haven't watched the last week's video where I kind of like discussed about how we're gonna do these trails, let me come down here. I would highly recommend watching that. That video shows the first loops 1 through 4, and that's pretty much like the more popular version of that. Oh, Twin Coves does have a marina. Okay, so there are 4 marinas at Grapevine Lake, maybe 5. Now thinking about it, Rockledge Park might actually have a marina. But yeah, so with the mountain bike videos, they come out every Tuesday. I think this will be the only trail where we'll do 2 videos on, because 5, 6, and 7 pretty much being a completely different skill level than 1 through 4. Oh, I went way too wide on this. Whoopsie, wasn't paying attention. See, this is why you pay attention, because I should have known not to go so wide, but I went wide. My mistake there. There we go. Like I said, there was about 45 trails in North Texas in general. So this includes the entirety of the DFW area, going as far south as Waxahachie and Glenrose, as far west as Mineral Wells, as far north as, as far north as Ray Roberts Lakes trails. I just realized there's nothing in like central or northern Collin County. Now, I think part of that is because that used to be a lot of farmland. And it's why a lot of developers are working over in the northern sides of DFW, much less the southern sides. The other reason is that being that the southern half of DFW, so basically from Dallas southward, is not the nicest area in general. So there's some stuff there, and they are starting to build out a little bit more over there, but not a ton. There we go, got through that tech. But when it comes to North Texas, it's pretty flat. Used to be farmland. I think now developers pretty much own a lot of the land there. So it's pretty much like through most of Collin County, and then I think through parts of western Denton County and Tarrant County off of 35 West. What is that? That used to be a boat of some sort? Maybe. I want to walk this down because I remember the first time I actually came here. I started Twin Coves. I actually fell back there. So I do not want to have that happen again, especially since I'm just a little, even though, yeah, like exercise here has helped to get the rest of that 1% of the hangover that I had. But I still need to have a great deal of caution so that I don't break anything. And then everyone's like, oh no, you're at the hospital on your birthday for the 2nd time ever. Except this time it was my wrongdoing. Instead of my grandfather having a heart attack. What was it, almost 11 years ago now? Yeah, 11 years ago. Story goes as this. I was in class just the day before my birthday. All of a sudden, I get a call. All of a sudden, like my teacher gets a call from the principal saying to go to the front office. I'm overly confused. I'm like, what the hell happened? I see my dad's on the phone and my mom's kind of sad. And she told me that my grandfather had a heart attack. So we then ran straight to the hospital to make sure he was okay. And then I think later that evening, we actually went back home and changed and then came back and we sat there for hours. And then we kind of did the same thing the day of my birthday. So that year, my birthday was on a Friday, and right around that time, my school gave us early release on the last week of September. So it basically went home, we changed, went down to the hospital over in Hearst. This was a THR hospital, like over in Hearst from a State Highway 121 and 183. So we would go there. We went there and we would, in pretty much a family sat there for the majority of the rest of the day. And then I forgot what steakhouse we went to for dinner that night for my birthday. Because that was still a pretty sad birthday. Like, I mean, I don't want to have anybody like have to be going to the hospital like the day before your birthday for either like something you've done or like one of your family members is in the hospital or one of your closest family members is in the hospital. Sorry, not just family members, because my grandfather was a very close family member. We didn't live together because my grandparents lived in Colleyville. They still live, my grandma still lives in Colleyville in that same house, but he was in the hospital, and having to open presents in a hospital room, it's very tough on someone even like me. Honestly, I think that is the reason why I am who I am today. I mean, if you really think about it, everything that you've done leading up to this point has shaped you to who you are, indirectly and directly. So we're still on 6. We got a good ways before we get to 5. There we go, made it up. Oy. Oh. No, I don't want to do that. So back to my grandfather. He did die about 10 years ago from, well, actually now coming up to 11, but he died from complications from that heart attack. So he didn't die directly from the heart attack like what happened to my other grandfather. At least that's what my mom told me, because I think he died when my mom was in college at that point, or at least like, no, yeah, they were in she was in college. She was about my age when he died, because at that point, my dad wanted to save money, or at least my dad wanted to wait until after medical school to actually get married. And at that point, my grandfather on my mom's side was like, he was like, that's a good idea. I will save up the money for you. Now, sadly, he never got to see the wedding because he died maybe a couple of years later after that. And then my grandmother basically blew away all that money. So my parents had to pay for it out of pocket themselves, which I feel kind of bad for, though. We'll see how it goes. Oh, yeah, this you would have to go over this rock like this, but I don't want to do that. Dang it. See, what I could have done, what I was gonna do is I was gonna come wide around here, but not able to get the balance here. And this is part of the reason why I don't do this loop. It's not a matter of it being bad, it's so technical that even I'm just like, I'd much rather do 1 through 4 because it flows. And yeah, there's some tough patches, not as many as there are on here. Those are wild berries that we just walked past, or we rode past coming up. Interesting. Okay, my seat is down. This is the cleaner line. That root killed my vibe. Well, it killed the momentum coming down. Yep, it killed it. Oh, what I could have done was I could have taken this down and then stay wide to the right of this root coming down there, but oh well. Actually, I probably could still do that to some extent. Here, let's get back on. Whew, here we go. Oh. Oh, and now we bike up. Ay, ay, ay. I don't know what types of berries those are. Don't eat them. Don't ever eat wild berries. They're not cleaned and you could poison yourself. Okay, so here, come to the right. And then what I would do is just push up here, come around like this, but it didn't happen. Got a seat up there. Holy cow. Yeah, that is some stuff. I don't know, I remember what the cleanest line is from here, but it's kind of here. You could tell from the weathering from these trails. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, okay. So we kind of come down from this side, be careful. There we go, made it. Kind of smoothing out a little bit, it's cool-ish. Yeah, I probably could have worn I don't think I wanted to wear my track pants today like I did yesterday. Probably should have, because now my legs are gonna be itchy on the ride home. Downside of allergies, oh well. Well, that's the Mill Park Marina right over there. So we might already be on loop 5. Might is the big word. And from here, I'm gonna walk up this. Whew. There we go. Running up here. Oh, I'm sorry. Whatever bug that was. Wow, we're still on 6. All right. So then I'm guessing 5's probably coming up soon. Oh yeah, because we still have to go. Still a good ways that go up and around, and then to the right. Keep pushing. Okay. And we've got another. That is why you pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. Tech can be tough. That's the whole point of tech. It is tough, but you have to, oh wow, why did I go this way? This is a bad line. This one was a tough line that I took going wide. I don't know why I didn't go close. Looked like a much easier line than what I just took. All right, hopefully they'll have the bike wash station working this time, because I think last week it wasn't working. I kind of want it to work so I can at least wash my bike off a little bit. Here we go. Like here. You go wide. It's not as tough as going to the left. There we go. Oh my God, what is this? Tree branch, word, caught my foot. I was like, huh? What is this? This is a new bridge. Ah, now we're on 5. Okay, so this is 5. This is where I accidentally turned left on, trying to go into 6 east. So this is now 5 west. And now we're on the way back to Nat Shelter. This is the last loop on this trail. There we go. There we go. You can go wide. Be careful of that tree in that hole there. And then another new bridge here. I think they put a lot of effort into 5, 6, and 7. Well, on top of smoothing out 1 through 4, putting in new bridges. Oh boy. After the rain, after all the storms back in April, May, and the first half of June. So here, you could go wide like what I'm doing. You pretty much go wide like what I'm doing. And then, I don't know, probably just go like this, cross over. And then you can kind of go wide in between these 2 trees and go up. And ow, those pedals scraped my leg. As I said before, these are aluminum pedals with spikes on them. So that whenever you're doing like downhill stuff, as you push down into the trail, the pedals will dig into the sole of your shoe. That's why if you get studded pedals, do not wear like normal running shoes. Wear something like Adidas Freeriders or Converse. Converse are pretty good. Ooh, here we go. Pick up some speed. Very nice, very nice. We're still a good ways from Nat Shelter. I mean, there's probably gonna be some like little twisty sections here, because I doubt this is gonna be like a very straight path to Nat Shelter. It's relatively straight, but it's not 100% just straight. There we go, another downhill, another drop to pick up some speed for some more people. Seems to be more smoothened out, like probably the last portions of 5. And I think this is because this is one of the easier sections, which is why this is also used for Judgment Day Loop 5. Because I remember when they did the Enduro Challenge here, 5 and 6 were used for that. And I could see why, because holy cow, that's got some pretty steep up hills and downs. We're getting closer, as you can see right there. That's the marina. We're getting there. There's still stuff that we have to do. Gotta keep on going. Gotta keep on going. All right. Ah, here we go. Got, ooh, a little bit of speed. Here we go. We're still pretty much riding the coastline of this trail. And actually now I think we're getting up to the end of Met Shelter because we're that much closer to the Muir Park Marina. I don't remember if that's the actual name of it, but I normally don't go to that marina. And honestly, I don't remember if, I know I have a friend that works at one of these marinas on Grapevine Lake. I don't remember if it's the one off of Oak Park or at Oak Point Park in Grapevine, or working at one at the Gaylord, or if he works this one over here next to at Muir Park. Okay. Here we go. Ah, my knee. Just come up here. Yeah, okay. I scraped some of my calf at the back, my shins. There's some that are scraped. No bleeding, which is good, but some scrapes, which is absolutely fine. I don't have a problem with that. Here we go, yeah, we're coming up to it. You can tell because this is the parking lot right up here. So I'm gonna keep going. Not here, that's an exit way, not actually part of this trail. But here we are, at the end. I'll come right over here for this. Alrighty, thank you guys for watching. You have now seen all of Northshore. If you haven't seen the first one from last week, go watch that. We have now gone through all 7 loops of Northshore. Next week, I plan to go to Arbor Hills in Plano. If that is still closed, then we will go to Northwest Community Park, because as of right now, that trail is open. Northwest is open, but Arbor Hills is not. So we'll get the other 2 of the mains, of like my main trails that I go to. And then yeah, from there, we're gonna start going to the closest trails from my parents' house in Plano. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. If you don't want to miss any other future uploads, especially even some of the new automotive content coming out, hit that bell icon so you'll get notifications right when it drops. And then if you guys want to, leave a comment saying either I suck or I'm really good at mountain biking, or I suck. Up to you in your opinion. But yeah, I'll see y'all later. Peace.